Listen, when you're a survivor of political violence like I am, you learn to recognize the moment when pressure stops becoming political and starts becoming dangerous. And right now, something is happening inside the Republican Party that should worry every single one of us. Because behind the scenes, the way Donald Trump keeps his people in line, it's changing. And the consequences of that change could be the final nail in the coffin of American democracy. I'm Michael Fanone, former cop and January 6th defender. If you want more breakdowns from someone who's seen intimidation up close and isn't afraid to call it what it is, hit subscribe so you don't miss the next one. So let's get into it. First, let's go to Indiana, where Republicans just advanced a mid-decade gerrymander that completely erases every Democratic district in the state. This wasn't some routine redistricting. This was a Trump-ordered political demolition job. And here's the weird part. Multiple GOP state senators said they didn't support it. They said it publicly, and they said it before the vote. Then suddenly, they flipped, all at once. No real explanation. That's not policy disagreement. That's something else entirely. Meanwhile, Trump's sitting at 36% and sliding. And if you watch the last decade, you already know, when Trump feels his grip slipping, he doesn't soften, he escalates. And the escalation is already here. More aggressive gerrymanders, more voter suppression efforts, more election subversion schemes, more lawsuits meant to bog down the system. This isn't normal political strategy. This is someone tightening control because they're afraid they're losing control. And that brings us to today's breaking news. Election law strategist Mark Elias just said something on Nicole Wallace's show that stops you in your tracks. He said Republicans aren't following Trump out of loyalty. They're following him because they're afraid, not of losing primaries, but of physical violence from Trump's supporters.
I used to think that the reason why Republicans fell in line was they were afraid of losing their primaries. I've actually talked now to enough Democratic members of the House and Senate who have told me that no, actually what they fear is physical violence at the hands of Donald Trump's supporters. So everyone should just digest and live with that for a moment, that these are elected officials who are fearing physical safety if they do things like not illegally gerrymander their states in the middle of the cycle.
Think about that. Elected officials, members of Congress, state lawmakers, privately telling colleagues they're scared for their safety if they cross Donald Trump. I've worked narcotics. I've dealt with crews that used intimidation to maintain control. And this is exactly how it starts. You don't have to issue the threat yourself. You just have to let your people believe someone else will carry it out for you. This is political power enforced by fear. And it's the oldest playbook in the world for keeping people in line. Elias is right. As Trump gets less popular, his tactics get more extreme. And as his tactics get more extreme, the people around him get more afraid. That fear is already shaping policy. It's shaping votes. It's shaping who speaks up and who stays silent. And if the people in power are scared now, what do you think happens as we get closer to the 2026 elections? This is the part the pundits always miss. When intimidation becomes the glue holding a political movement together, that movement always becomes violent. Always. I know what it's like to get death threats, to fear for my life, and the life of my family, just for speaking the truth. So to those cowards in Congress, get used to it or step aside, because your silence, if left unchecked, will cost us our democracy once and for all.